So I was going through the Facebook app yesterday, just like everybody else, and I was looking for people's birthdays, like, hey, whose birthday is it today? And it's nowhere to be found on the app. But if you go on the web-based version, you can find it top right first thing. I don't understand.
Yeah, on the web-based version, it is like a plague. It's in your notifications, it's in your events, like you can't avoid it. And I actually never really noticed it until you brought it to light here right before our recording. That's really annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, if I want to know if I need to be, as a nice little reminder, if I got to be sending a personal text message to, a close buddy, if you're out and about, like, come on, Facebook, get with it.
Yeah, and I don't want to make a mistake. It's just for verification purposes. Like, I don't want to get someone's birthday wrong. So
Exactly. So next topic, diversification, wrong ways to do it. We're taught that, hey, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Tell me about some ways that we might be doing this or thinking about it incorrectly.
Yeah, so one thing that we see from clients is that they think by holding money on different platforms, like if they have an account on Vanguard and Fidelity and Schwab and TD, that they're more diversified and more safe. And that's just not the case. It actually makes things more difficult. The regulations are the same across they're called custodians. They're the same across the board. And it's just not a thing. You can hold the same investments on each and every one of those platforms, generally speaking. So it's just not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you would come across like a way off REIT or something, but as far as just putting together, your globally diversified portfolio, you can be extremely diversified in your holdings around the world, holding thousands of different companies on just one platform. And like you said, it just makes it way more difficult. Now you have different usernames, different logins. Now, if you have to, if you're getting dividend distributions and things like that, you're going to have multiple Schedule Bs and Schedule Ds. Like, it just makes it way more complicated.
Yep.
Another one of, I'm not going to call it a pet peeve, but I feel like misconception of diversification is just having tons of different income streams just for the sake of income streams. Like, it's almost like a wealth building strategy that, you're not going to be financially independent unless you got 8 or plus income streams.
Especially if they're not profitable streams.
Right, exactly. I feel like the focus needs to be on how to increase your income. So I'll pick on real estate because it's probably the most popular, but I feel like people are trying to get into real estate to get into this new income stream just so that they have passive income, which a lot of times, hush hush isn't actually passive. If you're not specialized in doing that type of work, why not focus on trying to increase your sales in your current role, or maybe your company will pay for you to get your master's to, increase your income there. I mean, there's so many different ways to increase your human capital that I feel like just trying to have different income streams without focusing on increasing them is kind of a moot point.
The big takeaway, though, is that you don't want to, like, for instance, in this case, real estate, you don't want to buy real estate just for the sake of being diversified. You would want to do it if you are trying to increase income and do it in a profitable fashion. So if you're going to say, oh, I'm going to take my $1 million portfolio and I'm going to segment 30% of it to buy a rental property, then you're actually taking the diversification and making it less. You're less diversified because you're taking 300,000 in this case and putting it into one thing rather than holding thousands of companies that are specialists in doing what they do and holding it that way. And it actually becomes less diversified. So for sake of diversification, you don't want to do it that way. However, if you're going to do it as a way to profitably increase income, that's totally cool and totally fine.
Absolutely. I was just thinking of like a balance sheet. And if you're just using easy numbers, you had $1 million. And if you only had one line item, 401k, $1 million, just looking at that, I feel like is a misconception to say you are undiversified.
Correct.
Because that individual could be holding, to your point, thousands of companies from around the world. Like, they are ultra diversified. And then to say, no, I'm going to sell 300,000 to buy a home worth 300,000. Now my $1 million is diversified because now I have 2 line items on there.
Yeah.
In reality, you are tied. Yeah, it's almost the exact opposite.
Yep. All right. So one thing that we are or have been talking about is the best place to take notes. So people are forgetful. It happens all the time. I'm sure everybody watching this has had a case where they like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. And then they forget about it. And they're like, oh crap, I really wanted to remember what I was thinking about earlier, whether it's a song or anything. So I started using just the Apple Notes app, and it wasn't great. My biggest thing is the ability to share notes with other people in real time. So kind of like Google Docs where you can see where the other person's typing. I don't know. What do you use?
Yeah, so it's been an evolution. So I mean, I started out on my iPhone with the notes, and then on my Mac laptop had like 1,000 of those little sticky notes that you can start out, and it's just so unorganized. You can't search it. There's no files that you can put things in. So I started there, and then I went to Evernote, and that was helpful. I could start sharing and creating files. But my one-all be-all, and this is just me personally, is Microsoft's OneNote.
Okay.
It's not free, but it comes included in my Microsoft 360 subscription so that I can get the latest Excel and Word doc for my business every single year. So it's not free, but it's included in that package. And this is just an absolute beast when it comes to note taking. You can take pictures, draw in it, create multiple files, and then have those files have files within that. So you can be ultra organized, and you can search through just one booklet, they call it, or you can search throughout the entire thing. To me, I can find all my stuff. That's kind of been my one-all. How about you? What's been the solution?
I try to keep everything simple, and OneNote's great. It just sometimes has too much. So I'm a Google Keep fan. Yeah, I'm a Google Keep fan just because I can share grocery lists immediately. I don't know. It's my favorite and something that I've, like you said, evolved into over time. So
is Google Keep free?
Oh yeah, it is free. Yeah, it's just like the other suite of products. So.
Perfect. So I think if you pay for the Microsoft 360 subscription and you're looking for, the big 800-pound gorilla of note taking, this could be a solution.
Yep.
Otherwise, Google Keeps. I'll have to look into that for sharing.
Yep. So, cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time.